I think the hardest one overall was probably electroshock therapy, the one where you're running through the exposed wires.
Yeah.
Not because I found it painful, but because I was drowning in 1 foot of water. Mike had we had agreed to hold hands and run through it, all three of us together.
Yeah, the guys on the side, they're kind of egging us on. They're like, "Oh, lock arms."
Yeah.
And like I knew they messed around, but like, no, we're gonna do it. So we all linked arms.
So yeah, we were coming straight from I already had a Charlie horse during the last stretch of it, and then I went in the ice bath, and then I had like a double Charlie horse going on.
Oh, wow.
And then
we climbed over the whole cargo net thing.
We climbed the Mudder Horde, and that wasn't that bad.
No whining.
No quitting.
Overcome.
No excuses. Community. Teamwork.
Tough Mudder.
Tougher together.
No excuses. Hey to all my Mudder family, OCR brothers and sisters, and to you listening right now. You are my peoples also, because we do share a world together. I am your mirror man and host of Tough Mudder's No Excuses podcast, Sean Corvell. In this episode, I am talking with Adam Capotorto and Mike Lynn, two young entrepreneurs, journalists, producers, media content contributors, and two all-around great guys that I feel got a lot going on for them now and in their future. I met these guys along with their buddy Griff Lott at the Poconos Tough Mudder. They were producing a recording about the event for a local community news media outlet called Poconos Update. It was also their first time doing a Tough Mudder. And after they completed the course, they came back to the start line to do a quick interview with me for their project. While talking with these guys, I was thinking, man, they got some great energy, man. I'm really digging it. And I thought it would be great to have them on the podcast to talk about their experience running a Tough Mudder for the first time. And being from the area, I also wanted to get their take on that authentic Northeast community vibe I always feel at our events in that region of the country. Like I said, I love these guys' energy. They have a fun, adventurous spirit. We talk about where they get their exuberance for discovering and trying new things, and how their just do it mentality has helped them with their current achievements and fused their drive towards their future endeavors. Now, people always ask me, what is my favorite Tough Mudder event? They're all great. For me, it's like evaluating pizza. It starts off great, and it's what you add to it that makes it special. In this episode, I'm looking to identify that Northeast community vibe that makes our events in that area of our country special. And on that topic, Mike and Adam were the perfect representatives for that region to talk with. So here is my conversation with Adam Capotorto and Mike Lynn on No Excuses. Thank you guys for being on the podcast. We met at the Poconos event. I remember you guys when you came in, to actually have those pictures still, when you came into the start line. And then I got to talk to you afterwards and found out also that you guys have your own publication. What is it? Poconos Update. Is that correct?
Poconos Update, yep. Yes, sir.
Yes, which you did a quick interview with me on that, describing your experience. And I thought you guys were so smooth, so perfect, man. You were just great. I think I teased you that one day you'll be getting awards for some kind of movie or documentary.
Hopefully.
That
you'll do. That would be great.
Yeah. So you guys were gracious enough to join me on this No Excuses podcast. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. And Adam, Mike, how you doing, my man? What's going on today?
I'm surviving, I'm doing all right. As long as I'm waking up and doing at least one task a day, I'm feeling all right with myself.
Yeah, you look great, Mike.
Hey, same here, man. And I just want to say thanks for having us on. It's an honor to join you. Honestly, at the race, your vibes were immaculate. So I was looking forward to this. But yeah, man, I'm blessed. Things are good. And just want to keep this good momentum going.
And we're missing one of the Musketeers. That was Griff. Is it Griff?
Yep. Griff. Yeah, Griff. He had a work meeting. He couldn't cancel on it. He tried to though.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll catch him the next time, man. Somebody's got to be working right now. So, so let's go back to the beginning, guys. Again, I want to have you on here because it was your first time experiencing a Tough Mudder event.
One, how did you hear about Tough Mudder?
Kind of just been seeing like ads and stuff on like social media, and then I think him and I were tossing this idea around from like a year ago, right, Adam?
Yeah, well, what happened was we were originally going to do something called a savage race, and I am terrible at planning. That's why Mike makes all the plans for everything. And so I ended up putting my vacation on for the day the savage race was happening. We're like, oh, what are we going to do? We were looking forward to it. And then my girlfriend, I talked to her about it. She understands that I was upset about it. So she Googled it. She found the Tough Mudder, and next thing you know, we signed up for it the next day, and then the rest is history. We were just on our way to doing our first Tough Mudder.
Yeah, Savage. I love Savage too, man. They do good stuff over there. So if they come to town again, definitely go check them out also, guys. And you guys get to come to these things sort of like you're working, kind of, or
yeah.
Explain to me Poconos Update. Tell me about Poconos Update.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the blessings about our job. Like, we go to different places. Like just this past weekend, like we had like this local pickle fest, and like, we got to go there, speak to the people, like have some pickled flavored vodka ice cream, which was surprisingly pretty tasty in my opinion. But it's great, man. We get to do like a lot of, honestly, what I say is when you go and do something that you love, you're not working. And I think that's certainly how I look at this. What's your take, Adam?
I would have to agree with Mike on everything except the part where he said the pickle ice cream was good. It was horrible. I thought it was the worst thing I've ever tried. But yeah, definitely. The fact that we could just kind of go out and hang out with people and call it a work day is pretty awesome, if I do say so myself.
What was the name of the ice cream place?
It was at the fest. I believe it was like, I looked at it. I forgot the name, but it was Boozy something. Everything was good there except for the pickle ice cream, but it seemed to be the only thing that Mike liked. So
you guys just made me remember back in the days, I used to host a travel show on the Discovery Channel, and it was called Intersection. And we did that. We traveled all over the country, finding like quirky things that were going on festival wise and all that. And I remember in Minnesota, we went to this ice cream place, and they had this ice cream with cayenne pepper, literally with cayenne pepper in it. I forgot what else was in it because you couldn't taste anything beyond the cayenne pepper. So
sounds pretty good though.
Yeah,
that's something Mike would try for sure.
Yeah, it's the ice cream to eat in a rough neighborhood, So get away from me, buddy! In your eyes,
in their eyes.
You got an instant weapon.
So Poconos Update. Tell me about Poconos Update. How did it start?
Yeah. So it's a Pocono Update, like singular. So about a year ago now, we were in business with well, not even in business. We were just like working for this other local publication, and the fact of the matter is, it wasn't really like performing, and the no negativity here. Pocono Update started about almost 6 months ago at this point. We took the experience that we had at that other publication, put it together. We originally there was 4 of us. The one guy that was involved, he had to step down for personal reasons, which I respect because he was brilliant. Definitely got the whole thing going. Came up with some crazy articles, like great ideas, drew a lot of people's attention, and it was pretty good. We launched about 6 months ago. So far, last time I checked, we were at 17,000 17.7 thousand followers on the Newsbreak app, 2.5 million views. So thankfully, it seems to be having some pretty good growth. And that was it. Just a couple of guys that knew the right people at the right time.
That's awesome. Did you guys know each other before then?
Oh yeah, me and Mike have known each other since high school, and at this point, I can't get rid of him, so he's just kind of stuck.
I'm like a tumor, man. He's like tries to pop me one, I pop up on his back, just everywhere.
Okay, so assignment was Assignment Savage, but then again, whatever happened, and we got lucky at Tough Mudder that assignment became Assignment Tough Mudder. So how does that day start? How do you even prepare? How do you even know what to wear and what's going to happen? What's running through your mind before then?
Well, prior to the any of the ideas of doing an obstacle course race was me and Mike just started this tradition where every Wednesday, that happened to be every Thursday actually, but we called it every Wednesday. we would run 2.5 miles. And it kind of just started because we watched this one video of David Goggins. And I don't know if you're familiar with David Goggins, but basically he has this entire mentality where like if he doesn't want to do something, he'll do it. So the one thing we didn't want to do was run. So we were like, all right, let's just run. And the worst we could make it, we decided that's the way we should do it. So basically in a real masochistic way, we just started challenging ourselves as much as we could. And 2.5 miles went to 5 miles. And then from there we were like, all right, why don't we go ahead and try a race? And then we looked for races. We signed up for the Tough Mudder. And then that's how that came to fruition. And as far as what to wear, it was kind of just a last minute panic buying. So that's how that went.
I like that mindset too, man, that if you don't feel like doing it, just do it. You know, it is that kind of a just do it type of thing that who is it, Nike used to have. I've tried that myself. I try to exercise that as much as still try and do it. And I don't know how long you guys have been trying it, but I found that it does help me, especially even with the little things. Because even things like if I'm outside, you know, maybe I'm running, like you said, and then there's somebody left garbage in the street, you know, like a can or something. And instead of running by it because, you know, stop, got to go over there, stop my run, go pick it up. And as soon as I feel that, it's like, no, boom, just do it. You know, go and do it, you know.
Right.
And it's helped me with so many small things like that. And of course, with the bigger things too. I mean, how is it working for you guys, that mentality?
Honestly, the mentality is, it's been pretty, I guess, I don't even know how to say it. It's been like a life-changing experience for me doing that, because I used to be like a person that would be like all comfortable, do what's comfortable. And then I realized like, you know, being comfortable is just like stagnation, and stagnation is death in a way. So like I wasn't really living my life. I wasn't living. So I decided to do it. And now, I mean, I'm a business owner and didn't think that would happen, but it's basically been a huge domino effect since when I started doing it. And I don't regret a single thing about it.
Yeah, completely agreed. I think there's like a lot of utility in taking on like responsibility. Because like Adam, I used to just live comfortably, you know, just do what was like, you know, easy and stuff, and not take the path less traveled. And ever since I started like doing that, things have been like substantially like more enjoyable, really.
Yeah, it's smart, guys. This podcast, when people ask me about No Excuses podcast, I tell them that it's about people that are inspirational, people that motivate us by what they're doing. And also, of course, we get our professionals on here to tell us how to eat, how to run, how to prepare for things. You guys have checked the 2 boxes of inspiration and motivation, so we can now continue with this, with this interview. You passed the test you didn't know you were taking. So, okay, so here comes the day. You guys drive there to Tough Mudder. Tell me about it.
So I woke up first thing in the morning. I'm like, okay, I need to like, you know, get some fuel in the tank. So immediately get a pouch of Uncle Ben ready rice, cook that up, crack 4 eggs in there, scarf that down maybe about 2.5 hours before, like just give some time to digest and everything. And from there, like I just felt ready, just felt good to go. Decided to get started.
And you guys, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, for me, I had the exact opposite idea. I'm horrible at preparing for things. So I literally just woke up. I don't even think I ate anything. I just grabbed the water and I was out the door. And later on, that proved to be a horrible mistake. But I was ready. I was in attendance. So.
And you guys have never done an OCR before that, an obstacle course racing event before that?
No, not even once.
So what were you expecting before you got there? Or did you have anything that you were thinking?
Well, my cousin actually did a Tough Mudder. I think it was down in Washington, and he said that it wasn't bad. And me and Mike, we run every week. We try to at least, and you know, so I expected it to be like on par, but you know, then I actually did the obstacle. I was like, this isn't easy at all. I've been lied to.
So you guys get there. Go ahead. You're gonna say, Mike.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's funny too, because like he was like, yeah, we run, you know, this distance all the time, and you know, using like different body parts, it's gonna like make it like go by smoother. Both of us like jumped in the ice bath, like instant Charlie horse with the calves, like trying to like just limp to the finish line. It was good though, so enjoyable.
So for people that have never done a Tough Mudder before, when you get there, you park your car and you go up to is it the registration tent? Like I don't work there. Where you guys are coming in, I believe where everybody's standing. So you get in, we make sure you're paid and all that kind of stuff. You registered, and then apparently you can register for our 5, 10, and 15K. You guys were doing which one?
We did the 10 because we wanted to, since it was our first one, we decided the middle ground would be the best.
Good move. Good move. A lot of people that have done the 5, a lot of them I'll see at the finish and they're like, oh, we could have done that. We could have done that. So that's always a good thing. You jumped in the middle of the pool, not quite the deep end, but right there in the middle.
I don't think we would have made it. If we didn't do that.
I mean, me personally, I think I would have made it, but
all right, Mike. You gotta make me feel bad.
So then we have you go to bag drop. That's where you drop off all your personal stuff that you brought there, maybe your dry clothes and all that, food, extra stuff. And then it's time. What time were you guys scheduled to run out?
I think it was 9 to 10, 9 to 9:50, 9 to 9:50.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So then we put you in that little holding area that we have you wait at. And then they finally release you to there, and then you guys come to me at the start. So from there, tell me about that.
Well, from there, I didn't, obviously, as you know, this was our first time, so I thought we were running straight from our little waiting area. So I shotgunned an energy drink right before, and when we were waiting there, I was like, oh man, it's like I just had all this energy, and I was like, we're on the one knee, and I'm like ready to I'm bouncing around, ready to go. And I'm like, what are we going? What's happening? But, yeah. So right from the first of all, your speech was awesome. By the way, I wanted to just let you know that was really got me amped. Really got me amped to go more than the energy drink. But that on top of the energy drink was probably enough energy to kill like a horse. But
yeah, this man's like spirit was like hovering outside of his body. It was insane.
I was in third person during the entire race. Well, yeah, and then the race started. The first mile went by extremely quick. That first obstacle though gave me a reality check. I was like, oh man, this is a little painful. But
what was the first obstacle?
I don't remember the name. I think
crawling under the barbed wire. I don't remember the name either. But I actually cut my back on that one. Yes. Yeah, the rest of the race, I'm like, am I bleeding?
Am I bleeding?
Oh my goodness! Right off the start, we've got blood. So go ahead, you can continue.
Yeah, and so then running throughout the course was pretty great. I made a fool of myself during that second obstacle. It was just basically you jumped in a pool of water. Mike and Griff did it just fine, and like for whatever reason, I expected the mud on the bottom to be level, which I don't know why I would think that, but I ended up just jumping in and then falling face first. And
oh my gosh!
So I'm a little behind. I get out. Mike and Griff are a ways ahead of me. They look back. I'm just soaking wet. They're still dry on the top half. And I got to explain that I made a mistake.
Oh my gosh! And you guys are staying with each other the whole time.
Yes, I was an anchor. I was a designated anchor.
Okay,
he was. Give us time to catch our breaths, get some drinks, and all that.
What obstacles were difficult? Were a challenge for you guys?
The only one that I'm unsatisfied with my performance on was it was one of the beginning ones too. It was a lot of upper body climbing, and then like the transition because my hands were wet, so I grabbed it and slipped off. I'm like, dang! I want to do it again, but I didn't know if that was a thing, and we just kind of kept moving. But that one that's rented some space in my head, to be honest.
Yeah, we have that funky monkey one where it's with the bars, and then they change up to how you're gripping as you're trying to traverse your way across it. And that one, a lot of times it is because your hands are wet, because you see people in really good shape that will also slip, depending on where we have it at in the course.
Absolutely.
Adam, what was the challenge for you?
I would have to agree with Mike on the basically the upper body ones. Like they were rough. They were really rough with how wet I was, and then followed by how exhausted I was. But I think the hardest one overall was probably electroshock therapy, the one where you're running through the exposed wires.
Yeah.
Not because I found it painful, but because I was drowning in 1 foot of water. Mike had we had agreed to hold hands and run through it, all three of us together.
Yeah, the guys on the side, they're kind of egging us on. They're like, "Oh, lock arms, lock arms."
Yeah.
And like I knew they messed around. But like, no, we're gonna do it. So we all linked arms.
So yeah, we were coming straight from I already had a Charlie horse during the last stretch of it, and then I went in the ice bath, and then I had like a double Charlie horse going on.
Oh, wow.
And then
we climbed over the whole cargo net thing.
We climbed that. We climbed the Mudder Horde, and that wasn't that bad. I was like, that was actually kind of nice because I was relying more on my arms and my legs on that. But then as soon as we got the electroshock therapy, I got shocked once, and the Charlie horses immediately came back. And since we're holding hands, my legs are locked up. I can't move with them, so I fall forward. I'm trying to get up, and I can't get up because every time I get shocked, my arm slides out, and then I'm thinking, all right, I'll just let go of Mike. I'll just run the rest of the way myself. But no, every time I'm getting shocked, my hand's clenching onto him, so I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck, not being able to use my legs or get up. So I'm just being carried by this man through the water. And we got the pictures taken at the end of the event. And the event, you kind of see like in the beginning when I'm like miserable, I'm getting tased. I can't do anything. I can't move. And then it just kind of happened that like I'm just accepting it. Like there's just this smile on my face because the electricity is just sparking through me. I can't do anything. I can't move. All I can hope is that Mike keeps going and gets to the end fast enough before I drown because I'm face down in the water. We made it, and I was thankful. I held my breath long enough. That was definitely the hardest obstacle for me.
And you can see it in his face too, like all the stages of grief. Like at first it's like he's freaking out, and then it just slowly progresses like to acceptance, and he's just smiling. And see, from my perspective, like when we walked in, like I noticed that like he got heavier, but I was too focused on like not dying that I didn't question like why. I'm just like, oh, Adam's heavy now. So like I just keep moving, like, you know, getting shocked. And each time I get shocked, it's like going through my arm. And this man's like in this puddle of water, so I can imagine just all throughout his whole body.
Oh my God. So for you, even though you felt it, Mike, you were able to keep going, and actually carry Adam through.
Pretty much. I mean, it was a very interesting sensation because like each like shock, it kind of like went to like my lower back. So I'm just like, I was like, you know, but, I don't know. It was all right. I ended up doing it again for, because, we ate Pocono update. So like, to make the video. So I ended up doing it again. And, that time sucked a little more, actually. But
really, even more so, huh?
Even more so, surprisingly, because like at that point, like I was done, I was ready to go home, but I'm like, I gotta get this footage. And so, yeah.
Who told you guys you had to get the footage? Nobody filmed it the first time you went through? Nobody recorded it, rather?
No, we didn't have anyone on scene like filming for us. There was a photographer there that like I mentioned, we ended up going on the website and like finding the photos. But I had bought my camera like in the car. So, like right after we did the interview with you, we went back over there and then, set up the tripod and everything. And, I put my arms out sideways, like T pose, cause I'm a tool, T for tool, and, just walk through it.
We call that the Iron Cross when you do that, man. Yeah. Awesome.
I like that better.
Dude, that's awesome. Cause, one, nobody's ever died in, as far as I remember. Yeah, nobody's ever died.
I was close to being the first.
Well, we would have named the obstacle after you if that had happened.
That's nice. I would have done that.
The Capotorto. Come on, you can do it. Spread your arms out. Embrace it. Feel all the stages of grief. Dude, that is awesome. Especially now that I hear that you guys actually went back and did it again. That's pretty cool. Sometimes you can get through there and not feel anything, and we'll have people that'll be disappointed then. They'll actually
I felt a lot. I didn't have that luxury. I felt too much.
More than just pain, feelings too.
I felt mostly emotions. A lot of emotions went through.
Yeah. Describe to me, because one of the things I loved when I first started working with Tough Mudder, I had always just, started at the start line. But then because of the connection that I had with the people at the start line, I always wanted to see them finish. So I started going to the finish when I was done at the start and just seeing the people come in. And man, some of the people that you see come in there, it's like a big accomplishment for them. I see people crying, because, you'll see at the start, some people are there, and you'll see on their T-shirts, they might be running for a loved one that passed away. As I've said at the start before, some people are there, they've got a diagnosis they weren't expecting, that they're doing all these life challenges that they bring there. Our vets are there, and they sort of exercise that out there on the course. So when they get to that finish line, it's not just the finish line, the experience of the Tough Mudder obstacle that you see. You also see what's going on in their life. And this was an accomplishment towards that, towards dealing with that feeling and those challenges. Do you guys, and not to put you on the spot, you can be totally honest, do you guys see that out there on the course with people? Were you able, one of my favorite things too was like in between the obstacles was to talk to some of the people when I would run it and hear their stories, which like just made it amazing also. But at the finish line, what was your experience when you were done, and with the people there?
I think
you got it, Mike. You got it. You go.
I think like typically, like what you're saying, like there's such like a strong community there. Like it's just like great to see. Like it could be a complete stranger, but like you get this sense of like unity. Like we both like did something, like maybe not quite together, but we both just completed this entire thing. And to me that's awesome. Like and to see the people that did like the marathons, like running it, like I was like doing the race, and I'm like, oh, what lap you on? He's like, this is my third time. I'm like, sheesh. Okay, yeah. Man, I got more power to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Our infinity runners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the start, when you guys were talking about the start, see, that's what I try to do at the start. People come, cause like when you go to the other OCRs or even the local runs that I've seen, I feel like, man, when they just up there, usually you got the local, radio station out there, and it's like, here, buy this product, here's our sponsor, there's 1098-765, and go. And I'm like, man, you're missing out on a great opportunity here. Look at these awesome people. These people all live together. This is a community right here. And I was telling you guys in the Northeast, y'all got a strong community feel out there, which works perfect for Tough Mudder. So that's one of the things that inspire me with the start line. I try to tell people, guys, because they, like you said, they're ready to run right out. And I'm like, no. This is the beginning of your course experience. I want to bring depth to what you're doing out there, whether you're out there just to have fun and kill it, looking like you guys, shirts off, looking like studs, you are a part of this energy of other people that are out there that are, again, they're fighting demons. They're battling with their dragons and all that stuff. And you're a part of them, getting them, inspiring them to get that through there. Because then when they see guys like you guys out there having fun, doing well, to me, I see that, I'm like, oh man, I got to get to the gym, or I got to get out more often. I got to run, So that's sort of like what I tried to do at the start, and have people feel as they're going through the whole course. Have fun, but man, you're a part of something special here. Because I think that goes on outside of there too in our lives, just like what you guys do for a living. I think is important for people, especially in that area. They get to see all these community actions that's going on in their area, that whether they know it or not, they created that. They're a part of that. Do you guys feel that when you're doing what you're doing?
Yeah, 100%. Like you could tell, like especially when like we cover a lot of like grand openings in the area. So it's a big deal to have a business in the Poconos area as a whole, because it's mostly a tourist area. So starting your own business, it's like a real big step of faith. It's a real big accomplishment there. I mean, it is everywhere, but I feel it's especially for where we are. And you can kind of tell like how the community all comes out and supports one another. It's definitely something to be to experience, because everyone's like like they only want the best for each other. There's like no sense of competition. It's mostly all uplifting. I know Mike for sure has a better grasp of that, because he's more on the ground than I am, so he could definitely speak more on that than I can.
Oh yeah, for certain. I mean, you pretty much hit it though. Like especially since we got linked up with the local chamber of commerce, like we go to all these events, and like everyone's like everyone knows each other, because there's like a ton of like networking events and stuff like that, and it is just so good. Like because like you make friends with these people. Like shout out to Kobe from Surf Pro, because I see that man at every event. He is great. Like every time we talk, just good vibes all around. And that's really what it's about, man. And going back to what you were saying about the Tough Mudder too, when you're in the trenches with someone, that's when real brotherhood forms. Because you kind of rely on each other, like complete strangers, like, oh, give me a boost, oh, give me a hand, stuff like that. It's really great stuff. And I've been in the trenches with this man for better part of a decade now, and throughout everything, our friendship just keeps growing stronger and stronger. It's really incredible. It's really a privilege to be able to experience this.
Yeah. As I said to you guys before too, the Northeast, man, they got their own flavor up there. And I will say to people, because I know that people have been to multiple Tough Mudders with me, you always hear me complimenting the area that we in. And I try to be as honest as possible. That's part of my brand. I want to be honest. I'm not up here to be a charlatan to you guys. So for me, these events, all Tough Mudders, they start off good. They're like pizza. They start off good. And then it's what you add to it that gives it its little special. And you guys have a special up there in the Northeast. I got to go back. I always like to ask my guests, we go back to Little Adam, Little Mike, because you guys grew up in that area. Tell me what life was like for Little Adam, Little Mike, when you guys grew up going to school and that journey to where you are now. Mike, you start right there.
Absolutely. I was always just trying to get out and experience things. The only problem was I didn't live in the best neighborhood growing up, and about around the time I was close to 10 years old, a house actually got shot up around the corner from mine, and after that my parents didn't let me out at all. So I just had all this pent up stuff, just going in the backyard, climbing trees and stuff, just trying to just experience, just because I'm an adrenaline junkie. I need that kind of I don't know. I just need something. Otherwise, getting all this bottled up stuff, need an outlet to release it. But ever since I turned 18, just started going out and doing stuff. I actually do Muay Thai now. Do that 2 or 3 days a week. In the gym constantly. Just always trying to just push things to the next level. And I think that kind of just stems from the childhood experience of not being able to experience as much as I would have liked to.
Yeah, Adam, how was life? What was life like for you?
No, it was great. Me and Mike, we both grew up in the golden era where we got to be able to experience the outside more than most people, and also understand the power of the internet. So we were kind of on the ending phase of going out there and really putting yourself in the world. And it was great, especially when I was younger. I mean, the Poconos, there was nothing. It was more of a farming place than actual not metropolis, but suburban area.
Yeah, they're building it up now.
Yeah, they're building it up now. And like I said, it is a tourist area for sure. So when you're growing up in the Poconos, it's you wind up going to kindergarten or even preschool with someone, and then you're there at graduation with them. You stay friends throughout the entire time, and then if they go away to move away, you still stay in contact with them. There's a really big sense of community because while there's a lot of people in the Poconos because of tourism, there's not really a big population, so to say. So you really get to make close bonds there. And that's definitely one of the greatest advantages of me growing up there is that I've made a lot of great lifetime friends. And it's definitely something that I feel has improved my life greatly just because I've always had a support system regardless of what stage of my life I've been in, because I've always had people around me that I could trust.
Yeah, awesome, man. And how are people doing with the growth in that area? I mean, because usually when you have a great place, sometimes people get a little protective, a little territorial. They're like, shh, don't tell them how good it is up here. We're getting more and more people. Just tell them about the house getting shot up story. Tell them that. But how are people, how is that growth? Is it changing anything?
I would say it's mostly for the better. Everything's been going real good. Only been, as far as I've seen, it's only been getting better there. A lot of new businesses have come in. Everyone's been real happy about it because everyone wants to support each other up there for sure. And it's overall it's getting a little crazier. And by crazier I mean the traffic's getting pretty intense.
Yeah,
and that's never a fun thing, but. aside from that, and occasionally cursing out or people that are from New York and New Jersey driving on the highways, everyone's real happy. Everyone's real happy with each other, real uplifting.
Yeah, I mean, since we kind of became like adults, like during the whole time, like of the start of the build up, like so we're kind of like accustomed to it. But I talked to like a lot of like older folk, and I've heard multiple jokes about blowing up the bridge just to like to keep like people like from coming here, and so I mean, exactly. Yeah.
In these crazy times, just kidding.
Alleged in Minecraft.
Yes.
Yo, don't take it seriously, please.
How old are you guys?
I'm saying that.
25 and 24.
Yep, 24. Yeah. 25 soon. It makes me sad. Feel old.
You're in a great part of your life right now. So cherish it, feel it, take it all in, which it sounds like you guys are doing. So what's the future for Pocono Update? Or for maybe you guys? Are you guys taking, because is it your business, Pocono Update?
We're co-owners. There's 4 of us. Well, technically 3 now, because like I mentioned, one of the guys like stepped down. But as far as the future goes, we're like you're one of the. Well, I mean, maybe when we interview you, we were only doing video at that point for about 2 weeks. So you were one of our like first interviews. As far as video goes, we've gotten into that heavily. We sponsored an event in the past. But yeah, we're just trying to be out in the community and alert people of things that are going on in the Poconos to the best of our ability, because people have a right to know, and things. Yeah, I didn't know about half these things before I got more involved, before I found these resources to let me know. So if I can assist in alerting people of those things, then I'm happy to do so.
Yeah. Adam?
I mean, Mike pretty much hit it on the nail on the head there. I mean, as far as plans, I mean, we just want to get this as big as we can. Maybe one day get into Side Talk New York levels where we just randomly interview. Mike, on that subject, Mike has this. If you're familiar with the game Fallout, there's this perk called Wacky Wasteland. It basically enables like strange and obscure events to happen. And I say that Mike has that perk because whenever we go anywhere, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will happen, but there's a chance that something insane will happen because Mike is there. Yeah. So we try to we tossed around this idea that possibly we're gonna start doing like a Side Talk New York take on it in the Poconos, where we're just gonna wander the streets and wait for some guy that's half out of his mind to approach us and just kind of see where it goes.
that is like he hit it on the head. I do have a penchant for attracting some colorful characters. I'll give you a quick example. When was that? Like a week ago, right? Like Saturday?
Literally a week ago. Yeah. What?
Yeah, Friday or Saturday. We were, out right here, like 100 feet from where I am now, and like on the sidewalk, and we're just going to bars or whatever. Griff was there as well, and then this huge Ukrainian guy just comes up to us and he goes, "You have cocaine?" And I just taken aback. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, no, we don't do that. He's like, I lift 500 pounds. He goes, whoo. And so it's like demonstrating the deadlifting motion, and the conversation continued like on for like 5 minutes. He was like trying to like use Google Translate to like get his message across. He must have told me that
it's important to note that this man is also roughly the size of 2 fridges put together. And he's doing the deadlift motion. I just want to add on to that. The noise he's making is similar to what you would expect like a 16-year-old girl like to make. Like if she was, it was so bizarre, and it was we didn't know what was going on. He's only talking to Mike. He's only talking to Mike, but we're there and we're experiencing it. It just fits the bill perfectly. It was what I explained yesterday or just a minute ago. But anyways, Mike, please continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was pretty much it. They were off to the side. Our one friend, he's freaking savage. He was like, he's like, man, why does this like always happen to Mike? And they're like, yo, just calm down. Like this guy can hear you. I don't care. He can't understand me. I'm like, Brandon, this guy will eat you. You need to like just quiet down.
Oh, that's too funny, man. I feel you. When you guys are going around in town, and I love that story because it shows that, it's not just cookie cutter up there. You do have your quirkiness up there too. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of rich things to discover. When you guys are going around and you're filming, are you using large cameras, the smaller cameras? What are you using as equipment? I'll tell you why I asked this after I ask.
Mike's getting it out right now.
Just so happened to finish filming a segment, weekly pet segment we do, and this is typically I'll go to.
Nice, man. Nice. We had a camera, again, this was in the 90s or early 2000s, rather. And our camera person had a big camera, and they should, it was Discovery Channel. They got money. So, but wherever we took that camera, whenever people saw that, you know what that does to people when they see like a big camera and they think they're going to be on some kind of like TV or movie or things,
This is my chance.
Yeah. And we would get free stuff. Like merchants would offer us free stuff all the time wherever we were recording. I had a recording that I was doing in Cleveland, and it was with the Dog Pound, and we were at this breakfast place. And it was supposed to be like how you and I are, just sitting here talking at a table. And the guy that owned the place kept bringing us all this food. We didn't order it. He kept bringing it, and he starts explaining it, during my interview, the food, what he did special. But it would be like that in a lot of places. So I was telling the crew, and my director and everything, I'm like, you know what? We need to do like a B show, start filming a B show while we're out here, where we can see how much free stuff we can get just by having the camera. And I said, and we'll name it Land of the Free, But the idea is just, let's see how much free stuff we can get just because we have this camera. And that's what I was thinking when you said that, the quirky stuff that goes on, man. It's interesting stuff that goes on around, especially when you're doing what you guys are doing, man.
No, Sean, that is brilliant. Everything down to the name, Land of the Free, that is incredible.
That's really good.
Yeah. It's yours if you guys ever want to take that on, man, because my days are over with that. But
write that down.
Write that down.
Yes. Guys, again, man, just awesome. I'm telling you, I will see you guys. I feel like I will see you guys doing like big projects, something that we'll see on networks, getting awards and all that. You've got that energy about you, that creativity.
Thank you. God willing.
Yeah, Lord
sure.
willing, man. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So now, before I let you guys out of here, there's two questions I always ask my guests. One is a quote that was passed down to me, actually. I was visiting a gentleman in a hospital named Craig. I got to visit him in the hospital just before he passed away of cancer. And he told me that when he was diagnosed, he started living by this quote that became a model for him. It became a model for me. I talk about this at the start line all the time. I brought it back to Mudder Nation, and over the years, they made it so popular, it became a song by Darius Rucker. So, and you guys want to hear something cool? I've said this on other recordings, so anybody that hears this again, just let me say this. Our big event is our 24-hour event. That's our 24-hour competition, and we get like 15 to 2,000 people that are participating in it. It's amazing. You bring people to pit for you, the top runners in the OCR world, and ours was out in Laughlin last year. So we're out there in the desert around 10 p.m. Literally across the road from us was an amphitheater. Playing in that amphitheater was Darius Rucker. We had nothing to do with this. We had no idea he was going to be there. And he started playing that song at nighttime. So everybody that was up, and they know the story, could hear it going on. So it was like cosmic,
synchronicity. That's incredible.
Yeah, incredible. So the quote is, when was the last time you did something for the first time? So I'm going to start with you, Adam, on this one. When was the last time you did something? What was it for the first time?
Well, that's kind of, I try to do something new I should say it, but I try to do something every day. But I guess as far as starting something, I guess I've taken up this thing where like, I want to become like a real like high value individual. So like, I've really been like stressing like learning things. So, like I try to like read books about like how to increase your like books basically to increase like how you mentally like see the world mentally, or how you go about it. And I'm trying to like learn more. Like recently I picked up computer coding, and I'm falling in love with it. So like I'm trying to like learn how to code, because that's like I think it's one of, if not the most in demand skill. So I figured I may as well learn it. And along with that, I'm trying to further with Pocono Update. I'm trying to learn more video editing, get better at that. And basically, I'm trying to use every day as a as a new way to improve myself. Like every day I try to get 1% better, basically.
That's awesome. Mike, when was the last time you did something for the first time?
Well, it's kind of touch off of what Adam said. Like, I feel like, over the past 25 years, the amount of time that I've wasted is just disappointing. So, like, looking at that and, this new lease on life that God has given me, I am try to be very appreciative for every moment, because life is short. It's a vapor. And if we don't make the most out of it, then we're not living. So from taking this leap of faith, just, living off savings to keep this business going, to starting the Tough Mudder, to being asked for like random stuff. Because like I get like a lot of like random like opportunities like through just the nature of the business that I'm in. So I'm like, might as well let's go with it. And it's exciting. It really does like keep life interesting, and I'm very grateful to have that opportunity.
Yeah. My final question to you guys. Okay, so you guys are out there doing your thing. You might be out there filming something. Who knows? But you come across this lamp on the ground. You pick it up and you do what everybody does with the lamp. You wipe it off. Out pops me, the genie in the lamp. Been in there for millions and zillions and trillions of centuries. So happy that you finally freed me. I'm not going to give you guys 3 wishes. I'm going to give you guys the ultimate gift. In this moment, I am going to give you guys the ears of the world. You are going to have the world's undivided attention. Everybody's just going to stop what they're doing, and they're going to say, "It's Mike. You're about to say something." In this moment, Mike, what do you say to the world?
Man, ask me a hard question. I'm sorry, 1 second.
There's no wrong answer, my man.
Be aligned with love and the truth, because I believe that they're 2 in 1. And I believe that if you have a love for the truth, this world would no longer be in deception. I'm not I am trying to preach on here. We live in a fallen world, and I think everyone needs to turn their hearts towards God.
Adam, in this moment.
Yeah, if I had the moment, I mean,
You have it. What are you saying? I'm a bad genie?
I have this moment. All right, sorry. So in this moment, I'd say, I mean, I'm a firm believer that like, people can die way before they actually die, and I'm like, ever since I've started taking up that mentality of like, get comfortable, making yourself uncomfortable, I believe in like everyone should really just get out there and try to make themselves better every single day. Like use the time allotted to you just to try things. Like just live life. Like don't settle for being comfortable. Really push yourself to be uncomfortable and try new things. Say yes to things. Like don't just get into a routine. Break out of the routine as much as you can.
Awesome, guys. I again, even just talking to you guys, when I have these great interviews, I got that energy right afterwards. Like I said, I'm inspired, I'm motivated. And that's the same thing I get from you. When you say preaching, I know that's become a trigger word for people. But to me, I love when people are talking positive. You can call it whatever you want, preaching, whatever, but we have enough negative. People spew negative all the time, have no problem spewing that stuff. So, dude, even if they're saying you're preaching, keep it up with the good word, Mike. Keep on putting it out there, man.
Appreciate
both
that.
of you guys. You're doing some great stuff out here, making the world a better place for sure, man. So thank you again, Adam, Mike. Hope to see you guys again next year or someplace out here.
We already have plans. We already plan to do it again.
All right, man. All right. I look forward to it. Thanks,
Sean, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Sean.
God bless
really
you, man.
Awesome. That is so cool, man. So guys, before you get out of here, and let me press the stop on the recording. Unless there's something you guys want to bring up that we haven't yet, or if there's anything that you wanted to say.
No, I think. Well, at least I touched base. Mike, are you good? Are you?
Hey, so to the guys from my Muay Thai gym, I have a fight coming up. Can I actually do a little plug here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, go follow Brandon Masonette and George Miller. They were going to be fighting at one of them's the Freedom 7 event. The other one, I believe, is New York Fight TV. Great guys, very solid team. And please show some love if you're interested in seeing some Muay Thai. Very entertaining fights. Thank you.
Thai, yes, man. Also, guys, about how do people get in touch with Pocono updates? How can they find that?
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, so we have a Facebook page. We have a website, PoconoUpdate.com. And we are on the Newsbreak app. Like I mentioned before, that's our main distributor. So yeah, if you guys are interested, we do a lot of local stuff. We do a lot of stuff pertaining to the state of Pennsylvania, but once in a while we'll do, some oddball stuff. Like I mentioned, TJ was like very creative. Did, Nostradamus said the world's going to end. That was one of our most successful things. Like people are like interested in topics like that. Adam just covered like two, like just hit him out of the park, fairly recently. So please, if you guys are interested, please share the love. We'd appreciate that greatly.
Yeah. I got a feeling you guys are going to expand with that too. Yeah. And I did read some articles that were really good that you guys have done. So cool. We'll make sure that gets on there also. Anything else you guys got for me?
Adam, you want to plug your,
Well, I have nothing to plug, man.
Eat ice cream.
That's right. Eat more ice cream.
Eat more ice cream.
You can find Tough Mudder on Facebook and Twitter. That will be @ToughMudder, or on Instagram, also @ToughMudder. Please remember you can find this podcast, No Excuses, on wherever you listen to podcasts. Guys, subscribe. Let me know what you like, what you're not liking, and I will be including you as much as possible and even more in the future.
Inspirational.
Be inspired.
Inspire.
No excuses.
Motivational.
Be motivated.
Motivate.
No excuses.
No whining.
No quitting. Overcome.
No excuses.
Community. Teamwork.
Tough Mudder.
Tougher together.
No excuses.